Alright, since I'm doing this, it's tedious work. Try to do it like once a month. Really prolongs your boot if you have good, nice leather boots. Alright, so this is more for my boys. Maybe Leah if she gets into the leather cowboy boots. I'm a huge fan. Um, Switched to these style boots a couple years ago, and I really enjoy them for my stuff I do. Um, but I'm gonna do a care video. I got a couple pair of boots that I'm gonna do, and this is just what I do, what I've learned along the way through the military and prepping boots, and why you do it. Um, so what you want to do is first you want to clean the boot. There's several different ways. You don't really want to scratch the leather. Um, what I like to do is get a little toothbrush and I just go over the whole boot and I go over the threads and get anything out. Now I have mink oil in a lot of my thread area, and that's to save the thread from my welding burns. I learned on one of my early sets of boots that I had that welding, you know, will definitely burn right through these threads. So fair warning, the more thread designs you have on this leather, if you're welding in these boots, the higher risk, all right? But since I've switched to the mink oil treatments, something we used to do way back in the day, on my Navy days, and when you're slag or just say you got too much filler rod and it dips off for whatever reason, you're plasma cutting and you get some, right in the toe threads or right on the inseam threads, stuff that likes to pop early. Um, that mink oil, it crams up in there. I don't know if you can see it, but it definitely protects it. I mean, I use these boots day in and day out. I use these for 6 weeks up in Detroit, welding 8 hours a day. That and my black ones, same exact style. Irish setter, I really like them. They're a little pricey. I mean, realistically, a good work boot, it's gonna be about $200, man. I mean, I wish they were cheaper than that. Excuse me. You can get some deals, but like these are like 150, $200 after tax. Um, they're sold at the Red Wing store. I think you can get Irish Setter one offs, um, not through Red Wing. But I would go through Red Wing because they have a pretty good warranty program on their boots. Um, and they'll help you fit them right if you can go into one of their stores. They'll help you fit these things exactly right. I have a problem with boots that I got wide ass feet, um, and they actually offer a round toed double wide, so my foot doesn't get crammed on the sides and cause a callus on my big toe and on my pinky on the boot I wear. These actually don't do that. Both sets of these are round nose. I don't like the pin nose. It makes me cram on my toes. If you got narrow feet, that's cool. It ain't me, man. But it's really nice because you just throw your Levi or whatever pant you're doing your work in over this thing. You ain't got to worry about burrs or nothing getting in your boot. You can have a comfortable fit on it. It'll trudge with you. I off-road in these things. The only downside to off-roading in a wide boot, I got a 86. Oh, sorry, yeah, 86 Samurai, and it's a manual. And boy, getting these boots around those three pedals is interesting, but I still like it. I still like it a lot, you know. So, but you gotta really take care of your boots, man. If you're gonna pay decent money, get some good leather. Don't get pleather. Don't get some genuine. Now, Red Wing does get some slack, and Irish Setter does get some slack. And this is what happens when you don't treat your boot early. See how I got a broken 100% from welding? 100%. It hit it, and it burned that fucking thread through. And I'm just going to treat it. And then hopefully, you know, I could come in. And repair that. I do have the tools to do that. But we'll see if it becomes an issue first. I'll just take a suture needle and rethread. It's not that big a deal. Just make sure if you ever repair boots yourself, highly recommend taking them somebody. But if you're a cheap ass like me, you want to do it yourself because you think, fuck it, the worst thing I'll do is fuck it up and then I'll take it to somebody anyways. Just make sure you get good material that you're going to replace it with. Don't just go on Temu or Amazon, or I'm not saying those are bad sources for stuff. Sometimes there's stuff on there is decent. Try to get some American shit, some real cotton or some wax string. You know, support our local economy, man. Helps out. I ain't even pitching anything, man. I'm just cleaning my boots. Just want to get all the shit off them, man. Anything that's attached to them, get it off. So you can come back with a rag and some mink oil. I mean, mink oil is relatively cheap, and this is just time. So you can get a can of mink oil. There's several different variety types. This is what I use, what I've been using. I think I'm pretty much through this can. So you can see how much I actually use this shit. It will, side note, very high side note. If you get light boots, and I have an example, if you get light boots and you put mink oil on them, it's going to darken that leather. Fair warning. And I'm going to get that example right now. Now, these were my first set of cowboy boots. I didn't really get the steel-toed protection ones. I went down to Boot Barn. I'm not saying these are bad boots. I beat the shit out of these boots real quick. But as you can tell, these boots are different colors, kind of, from the mink oil. This one's a little lighter. This one's a little darker. I'll tell you right now, both these boots were lighter than this one when I mink oiled. It didn't bother me. I knew it was going to happen. Some people don't, though. So, just fair warning that this mink oil will darken up. I'm sure there's some stuff out there that will not darken the stuff. I prefer, I mean, this is probably not even a true mink oil. You can get some true mink oil, and that might not darken the leather. But I swear by this stuff. I mean, works really good. And in my opinion, it really conditions the leather. Like, it'll give you the flop. If you don't like that, whatever. I like when my boot is comfortable and it's nice and broken in. And, like, the only thing hard on that thing is my steel toe. Everything else, nice and soft. Boot fits really good. They start out, Irish Setters do start out a little stiff. So, like, these ones, I got these when I was up in Detroit at Red Wing. They're not as broke in as you can tell. I did put some hours in on these boots, a little bit less hours. They hold up pretty good. I slid some metal across my toe at the metal shop, but they're doing pretty good. I like to switch them out, man. If you get one pair of boots, I'm gonna tell you right now, you wear them every day, they're gonna stink. There's nothing you can do about that. They're going to stink if you wear them every day. Unless you're changing your socks to the job site like 2, 3 times a day, they're gonna stink, man. So that's the reason why I got a couple sets of boots. I get it. It's expensive, but try to get a couple sets so you can wear them on different days and air them out, bro. You air them out, you rotate them. They'll last a little bit longer. They'll last probably a lot longer if you're rotating them out, to be honest. Um, just take care of them, man. A lot of people don't take care of their shoes, and boots ain't cheap, bro. But they'll protect you. You gotta have them feet, man. I gotta get a rag, and then we're gonna do this. All right. A side note for those of you that have never worked with mink oil: you get this shit anywhere, it is very water resistant. Okay, like this shit repels water, like that old Scotch Guard we used to spray on everything in the 80s and 90s. Just Scotch Guard that shit, and bam, water repelled off everything. Probably gave me my cancer. I'm just kidding. Um, But if you make sure you put this rag somewhere, it ain't gonna get everywhere. You know, put it in a little plastic baggie or something, Ziploc. Um, I try to wipe off the can when I'm done, because kind of just put the can on things, and I don't want mink oil all over. So I'm not saying you gotta be careful with it, but just mind what you're doing. You just want to start getting the rag nice and textured. It doesn't really matter as long as you don't just glob. I mean, I kind of glob it on at first. I'll start globbing it and really working it into the stitching. Alright. Doing that, you gotta work it on the boot. Like really work it to even it out. So this is very time consuming. But man, your boots look good when they're done. Alright. Your boots look really good when they're done. Like right now, this boot is all scuffed on the front. So I'm kicking shit. Do not take, man, play hard, work hard, alright? Like, that's what happens. But I just do this in some off time, watching, some videos or something passive. Doesn't take a whole lot of time. It help with you older folks. It'll help with your dexterity, man. Working muscles that you don't normally work. Your arms might get tired doing this. Good little forearm workout for you gym rats. Man, I don't know. It's a pre-workout or some shit. But do it right. Your arm's probably gonna be a little tired. All right, really working that leather in. Just really working. That little gob I put on there, it is now worked into that toe. We took those little scuff marks off the front. Alright, I get it. My video quality sucks. I got a like $20 webcam, man. We're just working that shit in. Bam. We'll come back, clean it up a little bit more. Stuff does dry pretty good. Well, I don't say won't say dry, but it won't be wet to the touch. Still leaves a little bit of a shine to the boot, if you will. You're not really polishing the boots, just working this material in to give them that nice protection. And you are going to get some of the leather color on this, man, if you're working it in right. Like, that's just what's gonna happen. Get some mo, come up, just mashing it in these threads. I really focus on the front of the boot if I'm a little lax for time. You know, I got some shit I want to do. I want to get them out. But looks like it's going to rain outside in California today. And I got some welding I got to do. I ain't trying to do it when it's raining. Because it does leak into my garage. And I ain't welding that. Now I'm going to cram this right in the toe. Right into those threads, man. Just bah. We got it. Like, see that? It's all gunked up in those threads, man. Really take your time. Get it in them threads. Right where that leather wraps. It's real hard to get in there. It's really worth it though. Bunch up the rag a bunch so you can just jam it in there and just work it back and forth. Whatever you can do to get that up in there. Alright? And really just work the rest of the boot, man. Just the same way. There's no one right or wrong technique. I mean, if you just go one direction, you're not going to get it on both sides of the seams. You're not going to get it on both sides of where the material flaps. Take your time and just really get it up in there, man. And each time it's a little bit easier. You understand how much you got to use. And you just want a real nice coating on this thing, man. Not super thick, but definitely to where you ain't got any untreated material. Fold the boots over so you can get in the seams. Don't break the seams, but put your hand in there and separate it. Separate that back heel material and get it up in there. Really get it up in there. Try to get it pregnant. Alright. We're going to do a 1 over. We got a nice, clean boot now. And you do the same thing to the other one. It doesn't take that long.